Hello. In this video, we will discuss the MSI Utility Tool and how to use it to improve performance and lower latency. Before we begin, I recommend creating a system restore point or having a backup in place. This way, if something goes wrong, you'll have a way to revert any changes. Please note that I am not responsible for any damages or issues that may occur to your computer as a result of these tweaks. First, let's start with what MSI Utility Tool is. MSI Utility Tool is a program used to enable message signaled interrupts, or MSI for short, and adjust the interrupt priority for system devices such as your GPU, USB controller, storage devices, Ethernet, Wi-Fi, and other devices. This software modifies the way your devices communicate with the CPU through interrupts. This is hugely beneficial for devices that may still be using line-based interrupts, which is an older method for sending interrupt requests to the CPU. In contrast, message-signaled interrupts is the newest interrupt communication mode, widely utilized by newer devices such as recent GPUs. Line-based interrupts are significantly slower than message-signaled interrupts. This is because line-based interrupts rely on a single shared interrupt line queue that is used by multiple devices to send interrupts, and compared to message-signaled interrupts, they directly write and send interrupts to the CPU's memory address and can utilize multiple existing pathways. As a result, message-signaled interrupts are more efficient, leading to reduced latency, improved stability, better overall performance, and uses less system resources. It's important to note that this is a simplified explanation and there may be inaccuracies, as official information on this topic is limited. For a deeper understanding, I recommend conducting your own research. To download the MSI Utility Tool, I suggest downloading it from this GitHub page since I couldn't find the original download link. I will include the download link in the description. When opening the MSI Utility Tool, make sure to run it as an administrator. In the tool, you'll find your devices listed on the left side and the settings displayed on the right. I recommend taking a screenshot of it so you have a reference to revert to later if needed. To begin, you should identify your devices. As you can see, I have located my GPU, Ethernet controller, NVMe controller, SATA controller, USB controller, and my audio controller. For those who may not be familiar with it, these controllers are responsible for communicating and connecting the devices to the CPU. After identifying your devices, we need to ensure that they support MSI interrupts by checking the supported modes column. If your device does not indicate that it supports MSI, it is highly recommended that you do not enable MSI for that device, as it could lead to issues and may prevent your Windows system from booting properly. For me, I will enable this feature for my GPU, Ethernet controller, NVMe controller, SATA controller, USB controller, and audio controller. This change will switch the devices from line-based interrupts to message-signaled interrupts, which will enhance performance, reduce latency for those devices, and free up system resources. Once you enable MSI for your devices, you can further reduce its latency by adjusting the interrupt priority settings and setting the devices to a high priority to ensure that Windows prioritizes these devices when handling interrupts. We want to avoid setting too many devices with high priority as we don't want to overwhelm the CPU, so I suggest only setting the GPU, USB controller, and maybe the audio controller to high. In my case, I'm just going to set the GPU and USB controller to high. For now, I'll leave the audio controller on undefined since I don't need to improve audio latency at the moment. Before applying the changes, ensure that you have enabled MSI mode and set the interrupt priority for the devices you want to configure. After clicking Apply, restart your PC to ensure that the changes take effect properly. I also recommend setting the interruptaffinity for these devices since they perform well together when configured. Additionally, I have a tutorial video that explains how to set interruptaffinity for the GPU and USB controller to improve and lower input latency. You can find it in the description or by visiting my channel if you want to. If you experience audio or input stuttering or encounter other issues, I suggest reverting the changes made to the audio controller and USB controller. Some users have reported problems with MSI on these specific controllers when the settings are turned on. Thank you for watching. A like and a sub would be greatly appreciated.